afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Afternoon.
Sabally,
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony, for this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Akonte kukala komeka continue na itandirola. Bara woko no Jack Lupulandi no ko ye kalo menta nunjang wole bela hanisai. Very well. Kata domandi fengoga.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sabally.
I ko wala robedi.
Alhamdulillah, Madam Chair.
You are welcome back.
Ako ibe bismillah kan nekoteke.
Thank you.
Council, we may proceed.
Yes, we were discussing the issues regarding the vouchers.
Akonga memfunu njang wole mo voucher sol la ko Yes.
Now, if you go by the financial manual,
Akoni tamata financial manual.
and it tells you the procedure for payment and expenditure.
Akoje woka be fo ne ka be lanchine ya joro aning depanso.
Correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
And there are different type of payments. You have the payment for salaries or wages.
Akofananje akabe lanchine andi joro sifa mi alon ka bijele wala mu karola joro ti ani mol mi alon ko ikadogo ke bare meta do ko la ka contract ko le diga mem wegi solde.
Allowances.
Aning allowance solu.
Office expenses.
Wala fe mi alon ko office la dépense solu.
Purchase and supplies.
Wala sadiro ning swafiro.
And the list goes on.
Akwa be wole nyama.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
Now, on page 31, it says on paragraph N.
Paragraph N
Of section 503.
Section 503.
Subparagraph 2.
Subparagraph 2.
Subsection 2, sorry. Subsection 2, sorry.
Subsection 2, sorry.
That the payment and receipt vouchers and checks are then returned to the senior accounts clerk,
senior account clerk,
who then enter the details in the expenditure control system statement. Expenditure control statement. And send the vouchers
key
statement and checks to the Director of Finance
finance
for final check and signature before passing them to the Chief Executive Officer for approval and signature.
Chief CEO signature.
Now here is where you come in. After the approval and signature, the vouchers and checks will go back to the senior accounts clerk, who will pass the payment vouchers and checks to the cashier for payment. So in the case of salary, it should be by the 26th of the month. Or any other day directed by the Chief Executive Officer. Now, a salary advance slip detailing the gross salary deductions and net pay of each employee should be prepared monthly and given to each employee at the time of payment of salaries. So Q says the payment vouchers are then posted on the credit side of the cash book and the vouchers filed.
Jele bajila ko vouchers will be ka beke ila kasbuko to ya be file.
Do you understand?
Ako yo fahamle.
Napa.
Yes, I do.
So the ideal situation is
Ako jang kada nyanta kila nyame wala be nyame wala mko.
when vouchers are raised properly
Ako nim vouchers will data kuke.
and checks are drawn in your name
Anun chekol yekete toyala.
as the paying out cashier,
Wala mu momi ala ko itele nyanta joro kela.
you will effect payment.
Ako ibe joro kela.
The payments are then posted in the cash book at the credit side.
Ako ibajila joro me ala ko yakele iba kela cash book me ala ko abi credit side.
Do you understand?
Ako yo fahamle.
Napa.
Yes, I do.
In addition to that,
Ako wo kama kotake wo kola kotek.
the financial manual also requires
Ako financial manual han sign de ay nyine require ko wala sulata nyina ko.
on page 36
Wala mo page tan sabani woro.
says paid vouchers.
Ako joro la voucher.
After payment has been effected,
Ako nin joro ke tafa pareta.
all payment vouchers and their supporting documents
Ako voucher sul be joro la voucher nin kaitul member bala.
shall be stamped paid.
Ako anyantale ka stamp kaitandi ko joro ketale.
If the payment is made by check,
Ako natara kodo ni joro ni keta check wala.
the check number shall be written on the payment voucher before filing.
Ako check wala number inyanta usafela voucher to dandi be filing kila.
Do you see that?
Ako yo kalam tale.
Napa.
Yes, I do.
So if you turn to the next page as well, page 37,
Ako ni tata kote ke o kaito member no matan sabani woro la.
this will also, it supports what you were saying that you are giving the vouchers back to the finance department.
Ako ibajela kalmol membi ate melandi do ko nyanta tamana nyamen. Ako amunta ko wela kuma kangol le bambandi ifango ya fo nyamen ko ila vouchers will be kamuru finance
It
department.
says the director of finance is responsible for the safe custody of paid vouchers.
Ako bayri wo men fo wala mu director of finance amunta ko wala nyanto le mpruka je ko vouchers will be babulu.
And shall maintain a voucher movement register to trace voucher location.
Ako je fanang anyanta ka buko soto mem mu voucher registra riba je ko asa kalamta voucher adunya ana funtinya.
Do you understand?
Ako yo faham.
Napa.
Yes, I do.
So number one, you don't stamp these vouchers to indicate that they are paid when you effect payment.
Ako sang itla karola follow voucher sul ni joro ke foi pareta ite ko voucher stamp kaita ni ko joro ke tale.
Ninga voucher go from pareta.
After payment,
Witness column take a jele sign.
I only sign the witness column.
Receive column.
The receive column,
Customers milk wala sign.
the customers they do sign there.
You don't you don't stamp the vouchers to indicate that they are paid after you have paid.
No.
Ako kama ita ni wala voucher ni joro ke foi pareta voucher ni ibuka stamp.
Hani stamp den tolbul purkas stamp ti jepa.
We don't even have a stamp.
Ndol mo tara
We
jepa.
don't find any stamp to show.
And you don't have a voucher movement register system at council to indicate, to give a clear record of the movement of the voucher. You have already said that you will sign when you're receiving this voucher, the way book.
Ye dibi.
Ako yo men fo jande eko ite ni men soto men dun te bulu ka o sign we buko to.
Ha we buko ka o sign.
Buko soto mi yalan ko kas buko to inyantale ka safe daming.
Hani.
No.
But when you are handing over this vouchers, it is not, you don't sign anywhere or it's not recorded anywhere.
Ako bara amunta ko voucher sol ni te be murundi kan wala ibadi kan mol bulu ibu ka sign dulate je mi yalan ko ka safe le ka itandi ko asota voucher nangam ngawle di karila. No.
Now we had told you
Ako sign nata nyi fo ko.
the withdrawals as a cashier or paying out cashier
Ako kodo mi yalan ko ka bondi banko to kome ite mu tele ka joro ke.
between May 2018
Ako kabbo May 2018
to January 2023,
kata January 2023
that the amounts written in your name by way of check
ako kodo mi yalon ko ye cheko safe ite toyala
is 167 million
ako 167 million
167 million 645,000
$645,914
$914 87 buttons.
87 budut.
You cannot say that in Mandinka.
Yes, I can.
Now the amount, the value with respect to the vouchers you were able to trace
Ako kodo kono ni ajuwe voucher solo mi yalon ko ite si men jeno wala men jeta
that bears your name.
Mi yalon ko itole biye wala itoyala ite toyala.
The value is 27 million.
Akonia haima ala kodo tata fo million muang ani worola.
550,000.
Wili chemelulu wili talulu.
$319.
Cheme saba tang konon tang aning konondo.
3 bututs.
Butut saba.
Yes, that's it. Now, this is what can be seen.
Ako nyinne kita fenti mi yalon ko ajeta.
So we would need you
Ako sanbe sulang itela
to give us answers as to how we can have evidence of payment.
ato san ato itele bulu itele be jabiro kila wala itele ba senenda mola joro mi yalon ko
With the necessary corresponding vouchers
mi yalon ko ka bawsha sol mi yalon ko imanje
for the outstanding balance.
wala mu ko do mi yalon ko atuta.
Yo, ngakuma moy ba.
Yes, I heard you very well.
Late council.
Late council.
Panambe dandro kala.
I'm appealing.
Kad komi ngafo nyame kabiri ko polo ko ngani system wala traje.
As I narrated before that this is the system I adopted there.
Ntata dok wala kono for retire tata.
And I continued working on that system until I am retired.
Andu na doko fanam kono.
And during my work
Namanang audit query soto.
I have never had an audit query.
Internal or externally.
Be they internal or external.
Namanang query soto.
I have never been.
And audits period audit periodic ikajelo ko mbe intact.
And anytime the audit is done, I'm seen as I am intact.
You sila na nyinata happen thing.
So when this happens like that,
Ayinjakal bake.
and that's a big surprise for me.
Ayinjakal bake.
I'm very surprised.
Kontene ala tema.
Between myself and God.
Diga amuta ko ngangani yo drondeke doku wala KMC. Ngamuta ko ngani yo drondeke doku wala KMC.
Yeah, I put my life working at the KMC.
Tumando
For although
ngalongo
I know that
mistakes be de kala dulalto.
mistake must happen somewhere.
Ida vouchers nyoli is stroke no dulalto.
The vouchers may stroke somewhere.
Nte kala mutala.
I will not be aware of
Ba nte buka voucher mara.
because I don't keep them.
Nente ganda dogo ka nem finish nyaka dam vouchers nyola wala nga retired.
Whenever I'm done with my work,
Yo ku keta voucher nyola je.
whatever happened to the vouchers,
Nte ta wolonna.
I will not know
But
that.
as fila anata ken na fault it.
But I know that will it came as my fault.
Ha ba ni ngalon ko ni ala tema.
But hadn't I knew myself
Nga
and God,
doko ko ngani odronda la.
I walk from my heart.
Now, you mentioned, may I please have the exhibit? You mentioned that there was a period that checks were drawn in your name, you cashed the checks, but Sheriff Njai came back and told you there needed to be expenditures at council, and you had to pay it back to the cashier.
Yenyi ne fonu janko wati ne sotota bi alon ko cheko dila cheko be toyala itata kodo samanang puruka kodo nyinta mandi joro la bar Sheriff Njai nata fo ko council be suwarin kodo la polisi kodo di.
Ha komi joro konolem.
Yes, that is
What mo be 1/6 o jokan.
while I was paying the 1/6.
But what mo mam pare kuringe.
But I was not ready paying.
But atanata ko council be soral kodola.
But he came and tell me that council needed money.
Kati ye mission dole so de nyanta
They
menkela.
have another mission. Of
Yo another point what nyun kodole nga pay back to cash.
Then he informed me or instructed me to pay the monies back to cash.
Yes, so nata kodole pay back to cash, receiving cash as nyoli awa ye na receipt ol dinna.
Of which I did, and I was issued with a receipt.
And the receipt ol be cliprim fenko nyimbala bawta nyun nga soranda ten.
And that receipt are clips there, the vouchers are all closed.
Ha akita wala nya bara manka ko komi nga kodo fon sika nga diatele no ntenga payment ke receiving cash as nyoli ado ntenga kodo retire.
That is how it happens. It doesn't mean that I handed monies to him directly, but no, I paid it to the in-cashier.
We understand.
But I nyim fonyela ko be sola kodola because ye mission na soto. But mission me
he informed me that they needed money because they have a mission of which I don't know.
We understand that. And I am not saying that you use that money. I am saying, I'm just trying to reaffirm what you said. That checks were done in your name. You withdrew the amount. And Shrimpjai came back and told you you need to pay back 474,000.
ako jele sirifu njay nata ako inyantale ka kodo jo men dada fo wili chemenani wili taworo worola ani nani
yalon kabirate nata ata kunyela don kodo nyimbe murundi
when he came to me, all what he have said to me was that let me retire all the money. I said to him that I'm doing payment. So I did not pay all the.
Let me 474,000. No retire at that time.
I told him let me just retire this amount. That is 447,000. That is how I just continued doing my payment.
Later on,
later on again.
Another 98,000 ton.
I took another 98,000.
Almost more. They are cleared.
And added to it when I saw that the payers or the people I should pay have cleared.
Then what will another voucher hand over internal audit Basiru?
Then from there I handed over the voucher to internal audit
Basiru nata check.
Basiru went through the voucher.
$1,253.
Now he said I should retire $1,253. That was the last one I paid.
Saihou receipt or labulata nyono matan. Do 474,000, do 98,030, do 1,253.
These are the receipts.
You were given money by the CEO and the finance director. They signed these checks. They signed the check authorizing you to withdraw money for to pay either salary or allowance.
Ako kodo me alongo wala check o me alongo mendi la preta kodo bondi kajo. Ako CEO and finance director ya signed.
But when you were given instruction by Sirif Njai,
ako bar Sirif Njai kabla o foe.
Who was the CEO at the time?
Ako wato jumala CEO ti.
Nying wato ba wato nying time funka date jumala fa mo.
Can I remember the date?
Sabe salary jumala.
Which salary, if I could remember?
The monies that you were saying, Sirif Njai asked that you pay to the receiving cashier.
Ako kodo me alongo fa ngafanya ko Sirif Njai na ta fo ko ya pay.
Ngamera nyimbe deputy CEO la time later. Ala voucher date Marco voucher date.
I'm certain. I think it might be the deputy CEO. But if I could have
voucher date.
Now let me show you what it says here. The financial manual, page 32, with respect to undrawn salaries and wages.
Ako ibato I offer financial manual I meant for Joro La Carola.
It says it may happen that an employee who is receiving salary by cash
akwasi keno momi alonko dokula akala joro soto ikakodo le dukabulu
is away from the council at the time of payment of salaries and wages.
Ako asikeno wato amantra council to wato mena joro bekega.
If the absence is for more than 1 week,
ako barebaje la naman na fo ay lokungosi,
the unpaid salaries and wages will be paid back to the council's bank account.
Ako baje la ko atla joro mi alon ka janta men sot la ba bari ateje wo kodo nying nata meta lokungola kodo nyanta murna ala bank account.
A receipt should be drawn for the net amount returned to the council's bank account.
Ako baje la receipt nyanta sot la jele nangamo mi alon ko yole murundi ka dundi council account
with original attached to the payment voucher for salaries and receipt.
Ako baje la original o voucher wala nyanta kala je memu jorolti.
Receipt number quoted against the employee's name.
Ako baje la receipt number anyanta amari la to sot la je
under the signatures column.
Anu ka sign ke damen.
The receipt drawn is used to debit the cash book.
Ako ibaje la ko wo receipt nying inyanta le ka okay cash book auto
and credit the salaries and wages account.
And credit salaries and wages account.
Do you see that?
Ako yo jele. Yes, I do.
So when you are authorized to, by way of check, to withdraw money
ako wato mena cheko dila nyanto dila puru ko do bondi
for a certain purpose,
puru ku ko haji dola,
that you should execute it in that manner.
Ako ibaje la nyanta taman la wala nyama.
If you by any reason you cannot effect that payment,
ako ite dun ni ma joro akata nyama fo ima joro keno,
the money should be paid back to the bank.
Ako kodo nying imanyang fenkela fo ka murundi bank.
That's what the law says.
Ako loi wala fo de.
I mean for
yes, that is the truth.
But come
receiving cashier receives revenue.
Ako receiving cashier means ta wala revenue na mo lempo.
Whether it's donations or taxes or any form of levy or grants.
Akata fengo fenti danko ake lempoti.
Ora, come in to
Normally, what
ninga joro akanyi mempoto ninga joro ka form pareta.
As you say, whenever I'm ready, I'm done with the payments.
Until the retirement.
The retirements.
Nkatake receiving cash office le.
We go to the receiving cash office.
Wale ke receipt drone tolie.
They are the guys who draw the receipt for.
O receipt wanka wale clip with the voucher.
Those receipts I do clip them with the vouchers.
Wale kata finance. Wale kata
one
wale kata finance. Puri file.
For filing.
Now, how many times have you had issues with any finance director or Sheriff Njai or CEO regarding the fact that you will withdraw money for, let's say, to pay vendors or to pay allowances, and they will tell you that council needs to also spend, to also make some payments? How many times have this been?
No,
la pour sirif kana ka foy ko be sularin ko do lan lafta mo do le jola wala lafta dépense la teng wala ñafta dund la teng.
Hani ñin kilimu damale nana keta.
This is the only one.
All right. Unless there are questions, Mr. Sabally, we will have to give you time.
Ako san me menkala be wato di lela.
You will write to the finance director.
Ako be menkala wala be safaro kala finance director.
And the CEO, if possible.
Ako asikeno fanang ani CEO.
You can work with them
Ako saji di wos doko keno.
with respect to identifying the vouchers.
Pour ka jeko ka voucher sol ni no suté.
With respect to the checks that were drawn in your name.
Mi yalan ko chekol mi yalan ko yol to ite wobete to yala.
That you cannot see.
And wo voucher sol ite me jeno.
Will that be fair enough?
Ako ngamera wobe ma ko yelelde.
Abete ara. Ko comme ntenga mempoto ntenga joro ke.
As I said earlier on,
Nyaka dam voucher la woldo. Mbuka voucher.
That's the end of me seeing the vouchers.
Nim voucher ñen fonte na mané kabiri botante la office finish nyana mané je kotanke.
Since they left me office, I have never seen them.
Bebe dumping general finance
They are all
office.
dumped at the finance.
Han kabiri ibe voucher bonde la commission to kenati jante fam makala
Time
mbaba.
they were taking the vouchers from there to the commission here, I was not even aware.
Voucher movement buka fenne kalamtaje because
I don't know nothing about that.
nente ngambandi payment na ne payment banta even information them more left ale kata finance le.
Even the information, if my people need it, they go to finance.
Ikata tanka for the voucher be finance. Go there.
Inform them that the vouchers are the finance. Go there.
As there are questions for this witness, we would intend to write to him regarding the specific withdrawals and attack the dates therein, together with Sheriff Njai and the CEOs and finance directors for the period of the withdrawal of these monies, so that they can have a joint exercise, Mr. Sabally, together with your assistant, because you said your assistant is the one who deals directly with Sheriff Njai. She was posted there since 2018. Yes. Correct?
CEO and finance director.
And she's
movement at Leko back because deploy
all the vouchers were taken by
responsible vouchers.
He was deployed there by Sheriff Njai for that purpose.
Yes, Mr. Sabally,
yes.
We understand, and you have really explained clearly what your role is as a receiving cashier. But we have a challenge. You realize that you have cross-checked the bank statement and the vouchers we have received. We can only see vouchers totaling to 27 million. But what is remaining is 140 million. And we understand. And these are not imaginations. It's in the bank statement. But we cannot see the vouchers to authenticate how this money is spent. Because the check
ako cheko nying
were in your name.
wo weito ite to yala
You will bring the money,
ako ibe ko do samala nan
and it would have been raised
ako anyantale ka jo nyameng
by the administration
wala mo administration
for spending.
pour ka anyanta dépense la nyameng
But we will have to see the voucher
ako bar fonga voucher solje
to understand that the money that was given to you amounting to 140 million
pour ngalon ko kodomi alon ko adungi bulu voucher sola mayitandi wala mu million cheme million tannani
this is where it is spent.
ako nyindulale kodo nyindulale
If the finance director
ako ni finance director
and the chief executive officer
ani chief executive officer
cannot produce this,
ako ni wol mo nyimbondino
they are the writers of the check.
ako itolle kacce gol safe
They will have to explain.
ako foyo wol ya lan jang ya
And when we don't have the evidence,
ako ni mang sedol soto
well, it will be the decision of the commission.
ako e bajira so abetuda commission
Because we
la miro
already
kan
have the facts,
ako bayri nga
we
tonya
have the
soto
evidence,
nga evidence
and we
soto
have asked them to prove.
andu nyini ngale pour ya senende
All right?
ako ya faham
So, as the lawyer have applied,
ako comme le même fo say
we will give you time
ako be wato dilela
for the statements that we got from the council.
bar statement mi ala ko ya soto council bulu
We have done the job that we are supposed to do,
akontol nyanto menti nga wokele
to cross-check the vouchers they have given to
pour ka
us,
cross voucher sol mi ala ko ndo
together with the statement.
ani statement o ka
And
hayma
this is just checks on your name alone. Well, that is 167 million.
ako amunta ko ni cheko wolbe te to yala dron mental for 167 million
That is different from other checks that are given to other people.
ako ni chek dol man kelimi ala ko yodi mo dol la
All right? So I think you now understand.
ako so ala tale ko sa ya faham la
We are not saying anybody is responsible.
ako ma fo ko abe momo ko
We are just asking that they give us evidence and we
ako
see.
tol ka men ni nga wala mi yina ya senende
nga paham
I understood
because nte pon kabiringa nyimoy madam Kia
madam chair when I had
nte
this,
pon surprise tale
I was surprised
billahi wallahi surprise tale
So your assistant that was handling the vouchers,
ako ela no wala ko me ala ko wala ka voucher
will
sol
have to look for the vouchers.
ako nyanta ka voucher sol
They have to be presented to the
ako
commission.
nyanta da kana jang ka itani commissioner
Because this is money that has come in,
ako nyi ko dole me ala ka kananu
and it is in evidence it has been withdrawn.
ako fadan asenata le alanjine atako kodo alia bondi bank le
And those withdrawals are by you.
ako anu wo abonya itele o bondina abo bank
So we will give you time.
ko be wato dilela
You go back to the commission,
yemurun
to the council, sorry.
yemurun alla do la do council
So for the balance of the 140 million,
ako e bajela ko do men tuta wala mu million
let
keme
them
million
provide
tanna
you with the vouchers.
yena e voucher sol bondi ya dila
nyala kumo be bete ke madam Kia
I had you very well.
lefte mako mento je
I want you your assistance I needed your assistance
I will give you, if you want me to give you an order, I will give you an order right
ako
away.
ni lafta order la boke la
lefte wolda
That is what I need.
ite fongo ye order
I want the
Yes.
order you order them
i voucher dunta damen ye finti
wherever these vouchers are let them produce them
voucher dunta dawda ye finti
anywhere these vouchers are let them produce
gonte kabiringa nyin kumo moy
because when I heard of this
I was surprised tale
I was surprised
because nte ka do ko menke
because all the job I did
kabirinte be bola council
since I left
nte
council
nga mutal ko everything was intact
I thought that everything was in
billahi wallahi
yeah,
taala
between me and God
yes nte ni ala tema
yeah
niyo ko ben diala nyaba
if you do that I'll be grateful
yes
Sabally,
yes Mr. Sabally
be order,
excuse me
sorry,
very well
I would do the order right away.
ako sa te ku kala abe order kala sante
This is my order. Upon application by the witness to produce the vouchers evidencing withdrawals in his name, I hereby order that the Director of Finance, being the custodian of these vouchers, to produce to the witness for the onward transmission to the Commission. These vouchers must be presented to the Commission by Monday, the 30th of December 2024. I make no further orders.
Very well. Ako hanin kute je sanya la kalmol direde. Ako sa ben fo ako itolla nyantole mu menemu CEO anim finance director solu pour ye la nyantol beke ka jeko ni voucher solu ye bonde nang andum be sulare ngela jang pour ya sama nang commission o nyati ngola. Ya moy.
Ngamoy.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Just before you go, we understand that the memo that we sought to tender before we went on break were not admitted. Honorable Chairperson, we applied to tender the two memos. First is, they are both dated 10th of July 2023 into evidence as exhibit.
Ako sa ni memo flow le mendila sa ite kukela ba dundira ka ke se de jaro to yanga. Very well.
Thank you. Abarka.
An internal memo dated the 10th of July 2023, it emanated from the Internal Audit Department. It is directed to or addressed to the Deputy Director of Finance and copied to the DCEO. It has the caption, payback to cash. The second memo is dated 10th of July 2023. It emanated from the Internal Audit Department and it is copied to the Deputy Director of Finance and to the DCEO with the subject payback to cash. These two documents are admitted in evidence as an exhibit and they are marked as LGC/SS in brackets 1/KMC/003.
As the Commission places. That's all for the witness, Mr. Sabally. I understand you have been discharged.
Okay. Janimbita.
Before I want to know whether this order will be taken by the Commission there.
You will liaise with the registrar. Yes, you will raise with the registrar and you will take the order. Because these are transactions that are directly related to you. So you will be able to identify quicker the vouchers if you are given the opportunity to search through the vouchers with the help of the staff at the Finance Department. So you may pick up the order tomorrow.
Ako samani na raja be order sotla le ya samba ako bayri ni te famu dabi je bayri wo ni ajube wo voucher solo wo le o safete to yala ni o jubi famu le batare yala ka suti mol kono so finance taje ke moti mi an ko be ma ko la pour aller o nyini ha moy
ko sin telefta menado ko mi letro la ta alle ma ko yoto because nente ko be letro sambalam faye tumando nente ko be letro sambalam faye ninta ta ngadila askeno yena janko man letro je waran kudo ina keje
I want to think.
But what I tell you from I book commission here, I tell you direct.
I want the commission to assist me so that because
Yes.
I don't want to take the letter there because if I take it there, they might say something or something may happen. But I want the commission to send the letter directly therein.
Thank you, Mr. Sabally. We have noted. So you are hereby discharged.
Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
The next witness called.
Good afternoon. Is he the new witness? I have to remind
At the beginning, but you need to swear.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into local government councils and related matters, I want to remind you once again that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you.
Good afternoon.
You are welcome back.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Council, can we proceed?
Yes, we'll just respectfully request the Honorable Secretary to just swear the witness as if he is coming for the first time. The Secretary is right. The witness testified earlier, but we just prefer to have him swear again. Honorable Chair, we request that the Secretary be given a few minutes and then he will be back to perform his functions to swear the witness.
Mr. Witness, I apologize. Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. What is your religion?
Okay.
Your religion.
Islam.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Yeah, Islam.
In which language do you wish to make your testimony?
Pardon?
In which language do you wish to make your testimony?
Yes.
In which language do you wish to make
English.
your testimony? Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
Yes, I can serve.
You want to swear by the Holy Quran? Okay, Madam Chair, the witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Can you hold the Holy Quran? Kindly speak into the mic so that everybody can hear you, please. Say, I, Usainu Jallow, Usainu Jallow, do swear that
Do swear that
I'll speak the truth,
I speak the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated.
All right, thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness for us to proceed.
Good afternoon once again.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Council, can we please proceed?
Yes, late council.
Hamid, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Please, by way of reminder, you've been working with the bank for how many years, Ajib Bank?
I should have 2 decades. April next year.
2 decades.
Yes.
Wow, that's 20 years.
Yes.
It's a long time. So you were there in the beginning when they were discussing the issue of the loan for the Mbali truck, KMC, together with Espas Motors or Quantum Net?
I was a staff of the bank, but never present in any discussion towards this facility.
You were a staff. What was your role in what at the time?
Pardon?
What was your role? What position were you occupying at the office?
Yeah, depending on which period you started discussing this, because
2018.
2018, I was transiting to be head of operation, because from 2016 to 2019, I was the head of business development.
So when the inception of the Mbalit project,
Yeah.
when you were approached by either KMC or Espas or both parties, you were not really privy to the discussion?
No, because I am here for the fact that the person who was leading the process is lead now was our MD Nuha Marina.
Yes.
So with the relationship manager, Samba Fai.
Yes.
And all of them are not with the bank. So when the commission wrote to the bank, because I've been there in the bank, and most of the head of audit who usually investigate these things is also new to the bank. Okay. So I step in to provide some of these documents that this honorable commission requested. But I wasn't privileged to be in part of any discussion.
And throughout the project?
Throughout.
Okay, but we are grateful for the fact that you are here.
Yes.
And it's very clear to have you say that you were not privy to any of these discussions.
No.
But now you are the head of operations.
Yes.
And so as the head of operations, you are now familiar with some of the documentations in relation to the relationship between Espas Motors, Quantum, and KMC.
Very well.
Correct?
Very well.
Of course, you'll have these files there present. So who was the loans officer at the time?
When you say loan officer, do you mean the relationship manager to KMC?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Samba Fai.
Samba Fai.
Yes, sir.
And he's no longer with the bank?
No.
Where does he work, do you know?
He's doing his own personal business, plantation nursery.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the agreement that Ajib Bank had with KMC and Espas, who did they have an agreement with in the first place? Was it with Espas Motors? Or Quantum Net or with both parties?
Based on my knowledge, Ajib has an relationship with Espas Motors, what we call a joint venture agreement that was signed in 2016. It's based on the fact that whenever they have need to buy vehicles, as an Islamic bank, we do profit sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, we finance them, they buy the vehicle, sell, make a profit, then at the end of a period, we share the profit.
You share the profit.
Yeah, that relationship has been there with Espas Motors.
And this was the basis of the Mbalit project.
I will say because the Mbalit project came later, so it was under that pretext that this Mbalit project was funded. That is, an arrangement or agreement was made between Espas and then KMC, to my knowledge.
So who did you fund?
We find our joint venture, that is Ajib and KMC.
In this particular project,
yes,
between KMC and Espas Motors.
Yeah, we funded our joint investment, that is Ajib Espas.
And who is that?
Pardon?
There are two parties involved. You have Espas Motors, you have KMC.
Ajib.
So
no,
who?
No.
You
What I mean, we have an account. Whenever Espas Motors have a need to buy a vehicle to finance,
yes,
yeah, they always write to us and tell us that we have this need.
Right.
Then Ajib will avail the funds for them from the joint partnership account.
Right.
Exactly. So
now, to be more precise, in this particular agreement,
yes,
between KMC, they wanted to procure trucks.
Yes.
Compactor trucks, 19 trucks or thereabout.
Yes.
They needed pre-financing. They went to Espas Motors. Espas Motors came to you. As a bank, who did you fund? Did you fund both parties, or you were only financially responsible or dealing with Espas Motors?
Yeah, we only have commitment with Espas Motors.
Even with the Mbalit project?
Technically, yes.
We don't want to operate based on technicalities. We want facts.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Based on what I understand about the joint venture.
Okay. Now, can we have the facts, not what you understand or what you think of, what your knowledge is in relation to how you analyze sets of facts? We want you to tell us exactly what happened. You occupy the position now. If you want to familiarize yourself with documents again and come back and answer questions, we will welcome that. But the idea is you want to have the facts right, that who you were dealing with at the level of the bank, at Ajib Bank, who were you dealing with, and what were your obligations? Do you want to rely on any documentations or any agreements with any of the parties? We want to know, want to see.
Now I appreciate your question. When you say who you're dealing with, when you say dealing with, we've engaged at some point, because there was a time, I understand, a letter of commitment was written by Espas Motors giving Ajib the responsibility. When I say Ajib, I mean those two who were representing us, Nuha Marina and then Sambafai, the full authority to be able to communicate to KMC for ways and means to avoid diversion of funds, and how do we be able to liquidate this process. Because those were the pretext on which they were having those tripartite meetings. Because what I understand, most of the time when they were having meeting, Ajib will be represented, Espas will be represented, and KMC will be represented.
Yes. And now Espas gave an authorization to Ajib.
Yes.
For Ajib to represent them.
Yes.
How is that possible? These are two different companies altogether.
Yeah, because we already had mutual interest in the joint investment.
You don't have a mutual interest.
KMC, no, sorry. Ajib and Quantum have mutual interest in the joint investment.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So it was based on that they giving authority to Ajib to be able to follow, because KMC domiciled their account with Ajib. For the fact, if KMC didn't have an account with us, it would have been different. But because they are also our customer, and we have been represented in all the meetings they've been having. So to me, that is the reason why Ajib was given that authority to do so.
Now,
because again, again, if I understand, that's in fact the reason why Mr. Fai was involved into this. Because looking at the project, to be able to avoid diversion of funds, all the wards accounts were open and domiciled with Ajib.
Yes.
So that it becomes a collection point from whatever proceeds they have.
Yes.
Just to avoid, avoid diversions.
So the idea of the agreement was that the bank will fund, is it Espas or both Espas and KMC?
Espas.
Let me ask you
the joint investment.
The idea or the agreement is that the bank will fund Espas, correct?
Yes.
Was there an agreement to that effect?
Pardon?
Was there an agreement to that effect that the bank will fund Espas for the purchase of the vehicles?
Let me go back to what I said earlier on. Already there's an existing.
Now forget about that existing.
I'm going so that you know where I'm heading to.
Okay,
there's already an existing agreement between Ajib and Espas Motors.
Yes.
So whenever they have a need to finance purchase of vehicles,
Yes.
they just write to the bank
Yes.
and said we need this amount of funds to be able to do this, and this is our estimated profit or expected return.
So
in
it's
the
automatic?
investment. Pardon?
Is it automatic?
Yeah, because of the agreement.
Mr. Jallo, that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
That would not make sense. You are a banker of 20 years experience. You know you can't have one single agreement to cater for 17 different financial agreements that would subsequently come. That does not make sense. That does not add up.
I don't understand which financial agreement you say in 17.
The pre-financing agreement.
Yes.
You were saying because you have a joint venture agreement with Espas Motors,
Yes.
so that because of the joint venture, all they need to do is write to you whenever they need money so that you can pre-finance.
There is more to that.
Exactly. Explain us.
No, there is more to that.
About that.
Internally, when those requests comes through the relationship manager or the head of the institution,
Yes.
usually it goes through credit.
Yes.
Credit will look at the viability of the investment.
Absolutely.
Then if you look at the viability of investment,
Yes.
looking at the amount, it goes to board.
Yes.
When it goes to board, then the board will give approval based on certain limits. Then the first funds are disbursed.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it is not automatic.
No, yeah, okay, yes.
It's not automatic that when you have a joint venture agreement, the bank need to realize profit.
No, we need to look at the viability of
Exactly.
investment.
The bank need to know that the joint venture would actually
Yield
be
dividend.
profitable to the bank.
Definitely.
And so Espas too, they need to know and understand that they have to have profit.
Exactly.
So the idea, the joint venture is just more or less like an agreement that you have, an understanding, an
Yes.
MOU,
Yes.
that we are willing to do business with you as long as it is viable. Is
Exactly.
that not the case?
Exactly.
So now, have you assessed as a bank the viability of the married project at any point in time?
To my knowledge,
Oh, facts.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's,
Yes.
well,
But no, the way you were saying it, if you say to my knowledge, it may suggest that because you had said, remember, if you were there in the beginning, and I had given you that, if you were there in the beginning, and when you say to my knowledge, it would really mean that that is information you have by participation. Now, you had said you did not take part in the beginning, correct?
yes.
And so if you are saying here to my knowledge, it may suggest that based on what you understand. Now I am saying, give us facts based on what you've assessed in relation to the documents before you.
Yes, let me come in here. Mr. Jallo,
Yes, ma'am.
you have clearly told us at the beginning
Yes.
of your evidence that you did not participate in the
meetings?
yes,
that
in
this
the
one,
meetings
yeah.
and the details.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So we are asking in relation to how, you understand, KMC was able to come up with these issues. So it is not your opinion.
Okay.
Where you don't know, you indicate that you don't know what has transpired and what led to what. Because there is a person that was there from the inception.
Yes, that's what I'm
Who
saying.
can really clearly tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
No, I understand your
Yes,
point.
so-
I didn't.
And I just want to repeat what he said.
Yeah.
That when you say you know, it's like you know all the facts. And you may be talking from you just reading the documents. You just having the opportunity to read the documents.
Okay.
And you being now the head of
Operation.
operations, you have to come and clarify issues. But that is limited. It's very limited. Do you agree with me?
No,
Yes, it's very limited because you were not there at the time of the negotiations. You may have an idea, but you may not know the details. And you will not be able to tell us factually what has happened. Is that correct?
Very
Or
correct.
am I clear?
No, very correct, ma.
Yes.
No, I just don't want like the commission feel like I'm just coming to say no. But frankly speaking, yeah.
The issue is
Yeah.
we appreciate when you don't know.
Yes,
You
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Because we don't also want you to tell us from your opinion.
Yeah.
It's not your opinion we want facts.
Yeah.
So where you cannot substantiate the facts, you say, well, for this I am not too conversant with the facts.
Yeah.
So we will call the person that have the facts and knows the issues
Yeah.
to explain.
Yeah. No, frankly, truly speaking, to cut the long story short,
Yes.
I
No,
didn't ask.
the council is going to ask you.
Sorry,
So we just
council,
want
yeah.
to make it clear to you.
No, I
So
understand.
that you will not give us opinion. You will give us,
Okay.
you understand.
Okay.
What
No,
you-
now I understand where lead counsel
Yes.
was going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
but-
you.
Yeah.
Yes, you may proceed. Council.
Yeah, as far as then now, my opinion and understanding didn't matter. Frankly speaking, I wasn't in any of this meeting leading to whatever agreement is based on what is the normal process that we do in the bank and so forth. But to sit and say I was there and this was what was agreed and so forth, no, it's the documents that was privy to me that I've gone through, that I've read, that give me this knowledge and understanding that this relationship has been there. That is the hard fact.
Now, was this business, the budget project, scrutinized at the level of the bank? Do you know?
No, sir.
You don't know?
No, sir.
The documents you have currently, you are currently the operations manager.
Yes, sir.
Since when?
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Do you know whether there are any documentation in relation to the scrutiny of this loan scheme?
No, sir.
You don't know?
No, sir.
Where are the files for the Malik project?
Pardon?
Where are the files, all the documents in relation to the Malik project? Who has custody at the bank?
It's usually with the credit department.
With the credit department. Who's the head of the credit department?
Currently is Dalanda Jalo. She's on maternity leave.
We will be applying, Honorable Chairperson, that the bank an order be issued to the bank to produce all the documents in relation to the Malik project, and for the order to be addressed to the credit department. Do you call the head? Is it the head or the director?
No, the head of credit.
Head of credit. Yes.
But is it, sorry, Consul, is it different from, because based on the request that was sent to us, those agreements were all requested, which I remember we submitted. I was even called here for a meeting by the investigation team with even Dalanda by then, I think over 6 months ago, you know, to explain to them how the repayments went, for them to understand the dynamics, all those things that they were submitted.
Then we will review the documents, Madam Chairperson, and then for the ones that are outstanding, we will contact the head of credit,
okay,
and for her to come and give statement. Was she present at the time in 2018? At the time?
Yes, she was still with the bank.
She was present.
Yes, she was with the bank. Yeah.
Perfect.
She was sorry, can I add? Sorry, she was with the bank, but by then not head of credit.
Who was the head of credit?
If my memory serves me right, was one Ibrahim Job. Is now with the central bank.
Ibrahim Job.
Ibrahim Job, yes. Ibrahim Job.
Right. Now, the other question I have for you is in relation to the payment or the recoveries of the loan. What was the bank's arrangement in relation to the recovery?
Sorry to say, I don't want to go to that, because the same thing, as I said, is what I've read and understand. It's based on my opinion. But what I was saying, from my understanding, it was structured in such a way that the repayment should come from the various ward account. That's why Samafai was brought in to open those accounts. And I understand there was also another investment account linked to the project.
So let me help you on that. Yes. I did not say that we don't want your opinion. I said clearly, if your opinion is based on the fact that you do not know about what was happening, but you just want to form an opinion, that would not be relevant. But the idea that you are the head of operations, and you have access to documentation, the documents will inform you. And so it's along those lines.
Yes.
That's why you are here. I don't know whether you understand.
Yes, I understand.
Good. So again, can you answer the question?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was basically linked from the
19 words.
The 19 words. There was an investment account also, and, and worst case from the council main account for repayment.
Okay. So the bank is to realize its profit and its investment through the turnover from the 19 wards.
Wards, yeah, the proceeds, yeah.
So each ward will have a truck allocated to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there will be an investment account opened with Ajay Bank.
Exactly.
And Ajay Bank, the monies that they were making on a daily basis would be paid to that investment account. And so the bank is to make, to recover its financial investment from that money.
No, the investment was like a cash cover, like a collateral. The ward accounts, all the proceeds, the daily, whatever they have, will be dumped into those accounts. Then instruction will be taken. They have opened a special account like called KMC, Quantum, Espas Motors Malik project.
Yes.
They'll move those funds. They will move those funds there, for repayments to be done. But at some point, you understand that funds were not forthcoming from the wards.
Yes.
Now, most of the funds were going directly, coming up, the repayments were coming from the main council account.
Yes, that is what I want also to discuss.
Yeah.
So the bank knew and accepted that payment would be made from the 19 wards.
Yes.
Was this viable?
Well, the viability depends on the project. You know, usually when you're doing this, you need to have some kind of projections.
Yes.
Looking at how much within a community you'll be able. I remember, what I'm saying, looking at the compounds you have within wards and so forth.
Right.
Yeah, from a word go.
Yes.
They were saying if all those compounds were paying, it should be viable. But
was it viable from a pure banking perspective?
Yeah, initially, yeah, because of the, how to call it, the tenure of the facility.
I disagree. That is not viable.
From the tenure of the facility?
No, that's not viable. You had no collateral as a bank. Is that how you operate?
No, viability, collateral is a fallback position. The viability of a project depends on the proceeds of the business.
No, the viability of a particular investment depends on at the end of the time that you want to recoup back your money, whether considering all circumstances surrounding the investment nature of it, the realistic nature of generating genuine profit and realistic profit no matter what, and also when things are really bad to fall back on. Everything encompasses the viability. So,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, all the bank wants is to get their money and their profit.
True.
Is that not the case?
True.
So now I now ask you again: what was was it a viable investment? And if you say yes, we will
Yes, in credit
go
analysis.
into it and analyze it. Come again?
In credit analysis, there's what they call primary source and secondary source.
Yes.
The primary source of repayment of this facility was to come from the wards.
Yes.
And if the wards default, it moves back to the council.
Yes.
To take responsibility to be able to repay that.
Is that stated anywhere?
As far as facts are concerned, those are the things that credit should have reviewed.
Is it? Did they review that?
No, that's what I'm saying. Based on the documents that, if we are privileged to that, but I'm not privileged to that.
No, but was it expressly stated that the secondary source would be the KMC would have to fund everything if the trust cannot fund it?
Yeah, because I cannot show you the fact now, but as I
give
told
you
you,
time, you can write that down. We can
Yes.
give you time.
Yes.
Write it down. We need those facts, those set of facts, the primary source and the secondary source. You can write it down before you forget.
Yeah. Yes, Council.
And to roll back the dice, you have spoken about the primary source of the
Repayment.
fee payment. Let's analyze that one. How many was there any projection done? Did the bank engage in any projection to know realistically how many compounds there is and who will subscribe to this Mbalit project, and how much you do the actual calculation to know how much will be realized in a given period to know whether you will really realize your investment or not?
I'm not privy to that info.
You're not privy to that. Yes. You can have that down as well. If you find
Viable.
out, we would need documentation to that effect. Mr. Jallo, as a director of operations, as an experienced banker, you will advise that the Mbalit 19 wards would have to fund themselves for a huge financial investment like that without collateral?
Without collateral, you know.
Without any secondary
No,
source?
no.
You would not?
No. In credit appraisal, you don't.
You would not
You
do
will
that.
not fall in for that.
Good.
No.
Was the 19 trucks able to generate enough funds to pay this loan?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you know how much they were able to generate the investment account? strictly
No,
from
the
this
investment
19
account
words?
was just fixed there. That was like a collateral, like a fallback position.
Yes,
Yeah, that the council have.
yes.
Yeah, so but for the what accounts,
Sorry, what accounts?
no, they didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know how much was paid, how much was really realized? We need exactly the amount of money that was realized from these trucks.
No, in total, no.
But you will be able to give us
No,
that
no. If
figure.
you check the account balances, you can sum them up. And
Now we want you to give us that figure.
Yes, sir.
To be very precise.
Okay, sir. So that's the total revenue from the what accounts, each
Yes.
of them, yes.
Now, the 19 trucks cannot fund this project. It's very clear, correct? Monies cannot be generated sufficiently enough to pay the facility. That's correct. Is that a fact?
No, because I'm not privy to the...
Okay, write that down as well. When you come back, we will ask you these questions as well. I am just agreeing to the fact that you may not have been expecting these questions, correct? And so we'll just give you enough time to come back.
Yeah. Because this has to be informed whether there was any kind of feasibility studies done to know how many compounds are there in a day, how much should they be paid, then you multiply it to the number of repayments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll check for whether there was any documentation towards
Absolutely.
this. Yeah.
Now, as past motors, please give us every information. Now that you know, we will be asking you, maybe not only you, but we'll be asking you from the bank side,
Yes.
in relation to all the information that has to do with the loan facility for the trucks between S-Pass Motors and KMC. Now, your relationship with S-Pass Motors. S-Pass Motors, do you know they were acting as agents for the supplier?
I don't know, what do you mean, the difference between an agent of a supplier?
An agent is someone who acts for a principal.
Okay.
Do you know whether they were acting, do you in fact know the supplier of the trucks?
No.
Do you know how much S-Pass Motors would be purchasing these trucks as a bank?
Yeah, as a bank, a letter was sent, which also I can preview to read. Because
Letter was sent to?
Like S-Pass sent a letter to say what was the cost of the vehicles and how much you might realize at the end of it.
At the end of the year. So
Yeah.
we will need that that letter.
Okay, different from what we submitted previously.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's their request letter for the financing.
Yes.
Yeah, we have that.
I think it will be proper, Madam Chairperson. The witness has clearly said that he is new, technically new in relation to this matter at the bank as a head of operations. I mean, in relation to the Mbalit project. And so he would need time to familiarize himself and together with the information that we have asked from him to provide, so that when he comes back, he can give us genuine answers in relation to the questions that we have. So we will ask that unless there are questions from the commissioners, the witness be discharged and be given a date to come back and find more information about what we are asking.
Thank you, Mr. Jallo, for coming. We will communicate the date upon which you will come back. But we may want to have, after reviewing what you have sent to us, so that you will not duplicate what you have sent to us.
Fair
so
enough.
we will communicate to you as a basis of asking you to further produce documents that are not presented.
It's already sent. Fair enough.
You know, so that you will not
Duplicate.
And we will communicate to you when
No problem.
you will have to come and you present those documents so that we will admit them.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. You are discharged. I believe it's a convenient point to stop. We will rise.
I can take